Hello everybody, it's Bandit o'clock. It's not season 1, but I'm going to tell you where it is. So the show, It's Bandit o'clock, is a bit like the Bake Off. We used to be on the BBC, but now we're on Channel 4. If you go and check out the Classic Motorcycle Mechanics YouTube channel, you'll find Series 1 and everything we got up to. But now, I'm going to take you through some of the things we did in Series 1. Before we get stuck into what happened in Series 1, I'd just like to say thank you to all the comments and likes and positive comments we've had about the videos. It's very much appreciated. Someone called Darren even took the time out to message us and have a chat about his own project of stripping down his own Bandit 600. So thank you, Darren, and best of luck with the project. So Series 1 started after I bought a 2000 model Bandit 1200 that had 46,000 miles and 9 previous owners that I paid £1,150 for in April 2017. The bike's pretty rough around the edges and it did need some work doing. So in no particular order, here's some of the stuff we did to the bike. So one of the jobs that made one of the biggest differences was replace the slip-in clutch. It was slipping really bad, you struggled to get up to the national speed limit, and it really wasn't safe to be riding a bike around like that. So we went to Moto, and they provided us with a Gecko clutch. We had new fibres, new steels, and we also had heavy duty EBC clutch springs. And once they were fitted, it absolutely transformed the bike. There was no more clutch slip, and it was a really nice bike to ride after that. Some other parts that Moto supplied to us was the Carb rebuild kit. When I bought the bike, I'd been told the carbs had been rebuilt, but I wasn't so sure about this, so I decided to rebuild them for myself, just for that peace of mind. Once the carbs had been rebuilt, it was then time to balance the carbs. I went to my good friends at Bikes, Trikes and Stuff in Fengate, Peterborough, where they let me use their digital carb balancer. Hadn't done it for a few years, so it was a good experience to do it again. And it's a bit like riding a bike, you soon remember how to do it. Another bike shop in Peterborough, Wheels Motorcycles, also on First Drove in Fengate, Peterborough, helped us out with a service kit. We had everything we needed: plugs, oil filter, air filter and some oil, so we could service the bike and make sure it was ready for a season of riding. As part of the service, I did the valve clearances. It was something I wanted to check out and make sure they weren't out of tolerance. Upon doing the valve clearances, I discovered that the cam chain tensioner needed replacing, so I installed a manual one that I bought off everyone's favourite online auction internet site, and that cured that problem. One of my favourite parts of Series 1 was taking a trip to Max Torque Cans in Brusco to go and see Martin, where he made a full brand new stainless steel exhaust system for the Bandit. It's a 4x2x1. He invited me down to his workshop so I could take a look around and actually watch him make the exhaust system, which was pretty cool. And he also made me an end can, which he doesn't list on his website, but because I was there on the day, I could pick and choose some of the different options and put my own custom can together, which was really awesome. So Martin, thank you very much for that. Another area that made the bike unsafe was the brakes. The rear caliper had a bolt where the bleed nipple should have been. This wasn't good, they wasn't bled up properly and they needed to be replaced, so I managed to get a refurbished brake caliper when I purchased the bike. And when I replaced the caliper, I also replaced the standard rubber brake hose, as I'm pretty sure that had been on there from new. Talking about the brakes, the front brakes also needed some attention. They had aftermarket discs and pads, and I wasn't very happy with their performance, so I replaced them with some genuine Suzuki items that the Suzuki Vintage Parts Scheme supplied us. If you check out the price of some new Suzuki parts on something like the Bandit, there are some parts that are discounted in the scheme, and sometimes it's actually cheaper to buy genuine than it is pattern parts, so it's definitely worth checking out if you need any bits for your bike. And as we replaced the rear brake line with a Venhill braided one, we also replaced the front with a Venhill braided line. So with the combination of the new discs and Suzuki pads and new braided brake lines, the stopping performance was greatly improved and much safer. Another part Suzuki Vintage Parts provided for us was a rear shock. Again, it's something I think that had been on the bike since new. It was getting pretty tired, so we got a genuine rear shock, and now the bike handles much better. Another item that people tend to change quite often on a bike is the chain and sprocket kit. I got a DID chain and JT sprockets from Moto. I went with one tooth down on the front and one tooth up on the rear from standard, and kept the chain length exactly the same. Not that the Bandit needs any help with acceleration, but with the altered gearing, it really does make a difference. And one last thing, certainly an eye-opening experience, was taking the bike on a dyno. I wanted to give it a health check, make sure the air-fuel ratio was where it should be, to make sure the engine lasts and it's nice and safe. I took it to BSD in Peterborough, and myself and the dyno operator was very surprised when it put out 120 horsepower at the back wheel and 81 foot-pounds of torque. So a good clean bill of health from the dyno. So that's it for this episode. Hope that explained what happened about Series 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the classic-motorbikes.net YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook and check out the website. And leave us a comment. We do love your comments. Let us know what you're getting up to. Let us know how you think we're getting on. And until next week, we'll see you later.